Toronto. Located on Lake Ontario, Canada's largest city is home to millions of people. It's a great city with a lot to offer. But what if you want to catch a little break from all the hustle and bustle without trekking all the way into the suburbs or beyond? Let me introduce you to the Toronto Islands and the Toronto Island Ferry. When you are hanging out by the Toronto Harbor and then you look towards Lake Ontario, you'll notice a chain of islands just off the shore. These are the Toronto Islands, and our journey to the islands begins at the Jack Layton Ferry Terminal. There has been a ferry terminal here since 1892, but the current building dates back to 1972. There are 3 ferry routes that depart from here: to Hamlin's Point, one to Center Island, and one to Wards Island. And all 3 services have the same price. Tickets are available at the ticket counter, and an adult round trip costs $9.11, but as you can see, there are significant discounts for children and seniors. We took the ferry to Wards Island. This video was filmed during the summer when all 3 routes are available. However, during the winter schedule, which starts in October, service is only available to Wards Island. I've added a link to the schedules in the video description. And now we're on board. These ferries are operated by the City of Toronto and specifically by the Parks, Forestry, and Recreation Division. Fun fact, this specific vessel is almost 90 years old. It is called the William Inglis, and it was built in 1935. From what I can tell doing some research, there is an even older ship known as the Trillium, which dates back to 1910, but to the best of my knowledge, it's not actively sailing right now, which would then make this, the William Inglis, the oldest ship in the fleet. But if someone has more information, please let me know in the comments.
May I have your attention, please? On behalf of the captain and crew, we welcome you aboard the William Inglis. In the interest of marine safety and security, life jackets are located above your heads and in the life jacket boxes. Please review the posted instructions on how to don a life jacket before departure.
There have been ferries between Toronto's mainland and the islands since 1833. Initially, there were several private companies that all competed with each other, but they eventually merged into the Toronto Ferry Company, which by 1926 was taken over by the City of Toronto. They made it the responsibility of the Toronto Transportation Commission. The TTC are the ones who ordered the William Inglis and most of the other ships that are still there today. In 1997, the Department of Parks, Forestry, and Recreations took over.
It's a little bit chilly out here on the water.
After just 10 minutes or so, we've already reached Wards Island. It's a short ride, but very fun nonetheless. The dock at Wards Island is not an impressive building or anything like on the other side. It's just a fence with a security guard to open it. Soon the people begin to stream out of the ferry. I noticed a lot of bicycles, but it's not just bikes. You'll also see delivery people wheeling carts of food and other products. Why is this? Well, because with the exception of a few essential vehicles, the Toronto Islands Park is completely car-free. That sounds like paradise to me.
Made it to Wards Island. Wow, this area is so nice.
The Toronto Islands are a group of 15 islands in the Toronto Harbor. They feature several different attractions, such as Toronto Islands Park, which is where we are now, which has beaches, trails, and houses where people live. There's also a theme park on Center Island, and Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport is on one of the islands. Originally, these weren't islands, but a peninsula connected to the mainland with some sandbars around it. This was considered sacred land by the indigenous Ojibwe people who lived here, but in the 1850s, a series of floods severed the peninsula from the mainland, turning it into islands, and that's the way it's been ever since. In the 1990s, a land trust was set up to manage the properties on this island. So if you own a home here, the rules say that you can only pass your house down to your spouse or your child. If you want to sell it to somebody else, you have to sell it to somebody on a wait list of 500 pre-approved people, and the land trust gets to decide the price of your house. No negotiations allowed. Toronto Islands Park is open year-round and is just a great quiet escape from the city. It's easily accessible, can just see the skyline through the trees, but at the same time, the beaches, the greenery, and the cafes make it feel like you're on a vacation island.
All right, I'm on the ferry headed back to Toronto. If you come to Toronto, put this on your itinerary. I just thought it'd be a fun boat ride. I had no idea it would be this great, so make sure you do it. Thank you so much for watching today.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Check us out on Instagram and Patreon. Check out our store. Maybe I should make some ferry merch. And we'll see you next time.